right now. Give it up for reggae legend Shaggy, Spice, and Sean Paul.
So confession would mean that Kartel is what? Catholic? Not like that.
Oh.
We're following breaking news out of Pompano Beach where migrants have come ashore this morning. Sky 10 capturing a boat pressed against a seawall nearby. Let's go now to Local 10 News reporter Syra Onward. She's live at that scene with some breaking details for us. Syra, what can you tell us?
So Janice and Christy, earlier this morning, Broward Sheriff's Office put out that they had 11 people in custody, migrants that came on shore in this boat. But within the last hour since we've been here, we watched at least 3 men get tracked down and taken into custody by federal agents. I actually spoke to one as he was getting handcuffed, asked him why he decided to go on this dangerous journey from Jamaica. Our cameras rolling as federal agents and Broward Sheriff's deputies arrest multiple men they say arrived on board a migrant boat. While handcuffed, this man tells us why they made the trek from Jamaica to the Bahamas, then to Pompano Beach this morning.
Feel killing going over with it. Really want to leave. Want a better life. No life is in Jamaica right now.
David Doobie says he was at the inlet in Pompano Beach this morning when he made this cell phone recording of the boat.
Just coming real slow, zigging and zagging. You could tell something wasn't right.
Sky 10 shows the migrants' boat after it crashed into the seawall. Marine patrols pulling up to it when the intense search for the people on board ensues. Broward Sheriff's Office says around 8:45 this morning, the boat carrying migrants came ashore along Southeast 28th Avenue and Atlantic Boulevard.
I just saw a man run through our yard.
Mary Cheever tells us she was afraid one of the men from the boat was going to enter her house through the open front door. She says thankfully that didn't happen.
It was scary, but I'm just glad that everything's over.
But it may not be over. After taking a dozen of the people who may have been on board the boat into custody, agents continue searching the area. And we're still seeing agents around the water. We've seen them checking empty structures, homes, storage units, even dumpsters. These people will likely be taken to a processing center where their fate in the U.S. is still to be determined.
Our first guests have the #1 reggae song in the world right now. Give it up for reggae legend Shaggy, Spice, and Sean Paul.
So confession would mean that Kartel is what? Catholic? Not like that.
Oh. Good news this week for the world boss and his lawyer Isaac Buchanan. A judge granting Kartel's legal team access to his cell phone, which they claim had been tampered with in the lead up to the dancehall star's trial and ultimate conviction for murder. That life conviction now the subject of an appeal to the British Privy Council.
When we get there, certainly it changes the dynamics because the case is about technicality, admissibility of evidence, and so that changes the fabric of what's before the court.
But the judge granting the order is good news for you. You're happy?
Of course, certainly. We have been through a lot trying to get access to that phone and, a lot of controversy surrounding it. It helps for the review at the final court of appeal.
Incriminating voice notes from the DJ's BlackBerry in which he could be heard demanding the return of his shoes or guns and threatening to kill the murder victim and dispose of his body were key evidence around which the prosecution built their case against Kartel. An amendment to the Jamaican Constitution before the Kartel trial, establishing a Charter of Rights, itself a window of opportunity for the defense to challenge aspects of the prosecution's case.
There's a lot of things going on in the public space in terms of trying cases in the public and making your layman decision of guilt or innocence. That is in breach of the Constitution because everybody is cloaked in the presumption of innocence. You know that not only was the allegation of the phone tampering and evidence that it was used while he was in custody, but the means by which they tried to access the information was a breach of constitutional rights because there were things in place and it wasn't. It was backdoored and used in light of the Charter.
An Instagram post in May purportedly from Kartel spoke of the DJ getting baptized and turning his back on dancehall music. Nonsense, says his lawyer.
I have decided to turn my life over to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I've decided to denounce violence in all its forms. He's not going to sing, write, or think violence, nor will my actions be violent. I want to be Christ-like.
That is fake news. My instructions from Mr. Palmer is that is not from his team, from his representatives, and that is not his position. In fact, he is livid that at a serious time when he's focused on his appeal, that somebody would think to make joke of religion. Because there are persons who take certainly Christianity serious, and there might be mixed feelings and unnecessary controversy. But to make it emphatically clear, he is not a Christian, and there are no facilities in any of these institutions which are subhuman spaces for any baptism and holy water and all that comes with it.
Do you know who this came from?
No, it's fake news, just as fake as the news out there about Shenseea trying to sue Drake because she's pregnant for him and represented by myself. Fake news.
Fake news perhaps generated by a never-ending demand for information about the jailed dancehall star, his health, state of mind, musical output, his kids. Kartel a staple in the bigger dancehall picture, even from a tiny prison cell.
Kartel is as best as he can be, being housed in subhuman conditions in a third world prison.
Give me an idea of some of those conditions. You describe them as subhuman. Say why.
So there is something called the Mandela rule. You are allowed a certain incumbent space, space. You're allowed certain facilities like shower facilities per amount of persons housed, and they're still using buckets and defecating and urinating in these buckets, and sometimes have to stay overnight with this until in the morning, and 23-hour lockdown, and these things are unhuman like.
So the conditions are primitive.
Beyond, that's an understatement.
But he can still record music.
No, well, I certainly have no knowledge that he's recording music. So
Come on, a new Kartel drops
I
every
don't
week.
know.
We kind of know that, but I'm not making an issue of that. But at the same time, that it suggests some leniency on the part of the authorities that he has access to the means to express himself lyrically.
Well, I can't comment on that. As you know, he was recently moved from the Spanish Town prison to Horizon, which is a more secured facility. The best persons to answer that would be the Minister of Security.
Would you describe his outlook as optimistic going forward with the appeal? He thinks he stands a good chance?
His outlook is my outlook. We have to be optimistic. We believe in the Jamaican Constitution and the Charter of Rights.
Does it surprise you that after all of these years of incarceration, Kartel still sort of exerts this spell? He weaves this magic. He is still a figure of mystery and fascination for a lot of Jamaicans.
Yes, he's a national treasure. It can't be surprised. Just some things are timeless, and you can't. There's no surprise with that.
So beyond being his lawyer, you're a fan?
Big fan. Major fan. I'm the son of a DJ, so at all times you give props to anybody that represents the art form. When you see, and I have to say, when you see Shaggy and Spice and Sean Paul, and they come together and they represent on the front, when you see what Skillibeng is doing, regardless of the content, it is the relevance and the contribution that is important.
The Privy Council yet to set a date for hearing the appeal of Kartel, Sean Storm, Kahira Jones and Andre St. John.
Dance all of me everything. Dance all of me everything. Dance all of me everything.
Our first guests have the #1 reggae song in the world right now. Give it up for reggae legend Shaggy, Spice, and Sean Paul. Hi, you all. And Sean Paul. Hi, Sean Paul.
What's up, Wendy? Thank you for having me.
So we understand you're still uncomfortable with flying.
Yeah, right now I haven't taken a vax yet, so I'm just kind of chilling out. And I'm loving the family time that I'm getting, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, congratulations, Spice, the #1 reggae single in the world.
Thank you so much. I'm super excited.
And I know you're not brand new on the scene, but you're brand new to people like me, and just good for you.
Thank you so much. Big up.
So, how did you hook up with these two icons and legends?
Well, I tell people all the time it was pretty easy. It wasn't one of the easiest things I've done throughout my career. I was the one who reached out to Shaggy. I stayed in his DM, and I was like, Shaggy, I need to do a song. And he responded within 24 hours, and then he invited me to the studio here in New York, Ranch. And after discovering the chorus on the song, 'cause when I went to his studio, I was, going through songs. I heard, go down there, why not go down there? I said, that's me. I said, that's me. And I mean, I did my part, and then I said, how good would it be to have Sean Paul on the same track?
Wow.
And he was receptive. We sent the song to Sean Paul, and within 24 hours, Sean Paul sent back his verse.
Wow. Good. Nice. So, Shaggy, you recently moved to Florida. How's it going?
I'm a Floridian now.
Oh, yes. Look at that. What a beautiful compound you have.
It's nice. It's comfortable, and it's a part of my whole creative. You know what I mean? Because we got studios and Vibe, and all my friends and my creative partners are all there.
Well, I understand you've been doing a lot of free concerts with Flo Rida in Florida.
Well, yes. Well, we have a concert schedule in July, and it's for the first responders. And all the frontline workers, and they could go online and they get it for free. They come for free. And so we only had, I think it was only 6,000 capacity, but we had like 30,000 people.
Wow.
For it. So it was overwhelming. So we're actually thinking about doing another one. Shout out to Dan Newland. It was, it was his idea, and he's the one that's promoting it. So
yeah. Now, Spice, try as I can, I do not remember you on Love and Hip Hop.
I've been on it like 2-3 years now.
Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Yeah, I don't recall you there.
I've been on it for 2 to 3 years now, so maybe you haven't been watching lately.
Well, I get frustrated. But I go in...
Why you get frustrated with Love and Hip Hop, Wendy? Talk to me.
Because
I got a message for you, so talk to me, Wendy.
and Erica, like some of the storylines are so corny.
Oh, you think so?
I get so mad.
Oh, I got a message from Erica to give you.
How recent is this message?
3 days ago.
Okay.
She said to tell you that you were right. I don't know what you said about Safari or whatever you said.
Thank you. I said, don't have him in the birth room when you deliver. Oh. Divorce him and go on with your life while you're still young.
Why did I deliver the message?
Yes. Yeah. And I like Safari, but Sean
I like
Paul,
Safari too, but I never know you said that about him. I wouldn't know.
No, he's trouble. He's trouble. He's trouble. So, Sean Paul, in 2005, there was a song called Temperature, and it went viral. And that kind of cemented you, at least to my knowledge, as the king of dancehall. Yeah.
Respect.
Do you still want to perform, or you do it out of the duty of the people? Is this still...
Of course, I still want to perform.
You are sexy. Are you involved?
Me happiness and joy,
He's married.
No?
Shit, easy enough.
Okay, so you want to perform. Dancehall's making a comeback. I didn't think it ever went anywhere, but it's making a comeback. But my question was, are you involved? Are you in love? Are you married? You know, do you have a girlfriend?
Yeah, I'm married with 2 kids.
Aww.
2 beautiful kids, Levi and Remy. My son's 4, my daughter's about 2 now.
Aww.
Big up my wife, Jordy. Yeah.
Shaggy?
Huh?
He's married too.
Oh, okay.
With multiple kids.
I'm sorry, wait. With multiple kids? Yeah. In different zip codes?
No, same.
Okay. Oh, beautiful. Spice?
I'm single.
You know what? You know what? And that's best for you because you're trying to grind it out. A lot of times men don't understand.
They don't.
You know, a woman on the road.
They don't.
Yeah, so do your thing.
Yeah.
Spice, what are your thoughts on Chet Hayes' Jamaican accent?
I love him. I do.
Chet of Beverly Hills?
Yeah. I actually was going to remix his song, White Boy Summer. I was going to do the Black Girl Summer. The thing is, let me say this. A lot of times when people try to talk Jamaican, a lot of people out there feel like it's offensive. We like it because it's like you're embracing our culture. He loves Jamaica and pushed Jamaica, so we don't have a problem with it. You don't like him? Why?
So your album took 10 years in the making, which is unbelievable. Like, what are you doing? You made a song within 24 hours with these greats. A 10-year, what were you doing?
I mean, I was signed to a record company, VP Records, of course, and I guess we weren't seeing eye to eye for the past 10 years.
Did you dump coke on the table and jump up and, you know, like, was it a violent get out or was it calm?
It was a little bit, it was a rocky road.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. But that's where Shaggy came in and he kind of fixed the relationship and he was like, I'll be the executive producer for the album. So, yes. So my album, the album is actually named after the amount of years we've been signed. So it's called 10 and it drops on July the 30th.
Wow. So, Sean, it's been a while, about 2 years since another album. Where have you been?
I've been chilling, you know what I mean? I'm doing touring and whatnot, and then since the pandemic that stopped, so I got back in the studio, and I did 2 albums this year. One was released March the 12th. It's on my own label, and the other one is gonna be released in summer. So the first one is called Live and Living, and it features hardcore dancehall acts. Big up Buju Banton, big up people like Busy Signal on there, Junior Gangs on the album, and some younger artists too. You know, Intense, Skillibeng, Governor, Massacre. Yeah. And I'm trying to bridge the gap with that album.
Yeah, well, you know what? As we grow, the 3 of us, you gotta touch the young people, and the best way to do it is one-on-one. So Spice, you're the young. Thank you all 3 for being